Hello and welcome to another edition of Sober Second Thoughts here on the Fifth Quarter Show on YouTube. My name's Rick Zamperin. Be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will never miss an episode. Got to start with a big win against the Ottawa Redblacks, 37-21. A big win for Hamilton in more ways than one. Given Toronto's victory the night before against BC, Hamilton really needed to beat the Red Blacks to keep pace with the third place Argos and put a little bit of pressure on those third and fourth place teams in the West, the Rough Riders and the Elks. And what was really, a must-win game, the Cats delivered what I think was probably their best performance of the season when you consider all three phases of the game. The offense was on point right from the start. The defense really good, forcing a bunch of turnovers. Special teams. Lawrence Woods, 83-yard punt return for a touchdown. Absolutely outstanding. Greg Bell, Stephen Dunbar Jr., Bo Levi Mitchell, check marks across the board. A total team effort. This was really a game and a win to write home about. And they did it at home, which is kind of cool as well. Sober second thought number two, and we kind of touched on this on the Fifth Quarter Show after the game, whether or not the Ticats it really wasn't a question, do they have to run the table? I think the statement was, this team's going to run the table. And I don't know, it's a pretty bold statement. Do the Ticats have to run the table to get into the playoffs? If they don't go 5-0 from here on in, they're obviously going to need some help. Here's the schedule for Hamilton. At Toronto, at BC, at home to Winnipeg, then they got a bye week, host Calgary, finish off the regular season in Ottawa. Now, if they don't go 5-0 or at least 4-1, they're going to need some help. Toronto's remaining schedule. Host Hamilton, host Montreal on the bye week, at Winnipeg, host the Red Blacks, and finish off the season in Edmonton, which could be a big game for both teams as well. Saskatchewan, also in the mix, obviously with the crossover spot. At Calgary, home to Ottawa, at BC, host the Lions, bye week, and then host the Stampeders. And Edmonton, back-to-back against Winnipeg here, home and then away. They host the Rough Riders, they're in Calgary on the bye week, and then host the Argonauts to end the regular season. So if the Cats go 5-0, let's just say miraculously, stranger things have happened. They finished 9-9. Toronto will have to go 1-4 if the Ticats run the table. And Hamilton will get in. They'll have the tiebreaker. Saskatchewan and Edmonton will both have to go 2-3 down the stretch if the Ticats go 5-0. So you can see if they don't go 5-0 or even 4-1, they really need some help from those three other teams. So it is going to be tough at the end of the day. That might be the soberest second thought we have for you today. I want to end with this. Fast starts for Bo and the O. And I'm going to get to penalties here as well. Last two wins for Hamilton, Labor Day Classic against Toronto and this past Saturday against Ottawa, as well as Week 7 against Toronto as well. Let's throw that in the mix too. In each of those three games, Hamilton got out to a big lead and a fast lead, 21-3 after the first quarter on Labor Day, 21-6 at halftime versus Ottawa over the weekend, and they led Toronto 17-7 at halftime in Week 7. And in those games, Bo Levi was awesome. Labor Day, 20 of 30, 347 yards, couple of touchdowns. Against Ottawa over the weekend, 20 of 27, 299, 2 TDs, and a pick. And against Toronto back in Week 7, 20 of 29, 270, 1 TD, 1 interception. And penalties in those three games for the Ticats. Labor Day, 3 penalties, 25 yards. Saturday, 3 penalties, 57 yards. Week 7, 5 penalties, 55 yards. We see they can do it. The Ticats can be disciplined. And when they do, and get off to fast starts, and QB1 is playing great, it's a recipe for success. If the Cats get out to an early lead or a halftime lead, they play discipline, they get another great performance by Mitchell, they have a great shot, not only at beating Toronto, but beating a lot of other teams down the stretch. Those pieces have to be in place. Of course, get a bunch of turnovers as they did as well. One more thing. I spoke to cornerback Jamal Peters after practice on Monday, and this is his first time back in Toronto since he came over to Hamilton via free agency. Dwayne Hendricks is in that mix, Brendan Barlow as well. These former Argonauts amped to go back to BMO Field to carry the black and gold pennant flag, if you will, and get a big win for this Ticats team. So we'll see if that happens. Lastly, for you, I do want to remind you, and I think it's on the ticker as well, Ticats Alumni Association Wall of Honor Dinner is going to happen on October 3rd at Michelangelo's. TSN's Dwayne Ford, former CFL great, is going to be the host. I'll be there as well. Tickets are $125. Great appetizers, food, drinks. Going to be an awesome atmosphere. Get your tickets today. htcaa.ca. htcaa.ca. There's a link on that page. Click on it. Join the fun. Hope to see you there as well. That's another edition of Sober Second Thoughts. We're back at it Thursday with picks, props, and predictions. And of course, big game, Ticats and Argonauts to close it out on Friday. That should be a whole lot of fun. I'll be here. Hopefully you will as well. Have an awesome day.